I've been up under there tearing things up. Had to do a bolt repair where the body bolt had broke one side at one time, and they just slipped another one in there on the side without taking the broken piece out. So I had to get it back in. That was the top bolt up there, and it's now JB welded in. Yay. You see the little rubber booty there and the rod. Yeah, that's telling you something too, huh? Been a busy morning today. It's been real fun. This is a two-people thing, man. Somebody usually got to hold the rod. So what I ended up doing was prying the pedals down, forcing them down, holding them down, and then doing it from inside. So there you go, you know. But hey, while I was at it, the truck used to be gray. So I went ahead and cleaned the rust off and hit it with some Rust-Oleum primer and then some Ace Hardware gray, light gray. And when you take that light gray and you hold it over here next to this light gray, they're the same color. And it's like, okay, I can paint my truck with cans. Ooh, but there it is, man. New master cylinder, clutch cylinder in. And they don't come with gaskets. There's got to be a gasket, but they don't come with them, man. Originally they did, and it was a little foam thing. So what I did was I took the old Big Stretch. I don't know if you can see it in there, but I made my own gasket with Big Stretch silicone stuff, 50-year last thing, and then I cleaned it all up best I could, and it dries clear. So anything I might have left hanging out, you're not going to see, but it is in there. I don't know if you can see down in there. It's back there. So all I got to do now is get to the rest of this stuff. Then I'll hook the lines up and bleed the system down. But I want to leave the lines open so that what bad fluid is in there drains out before I go doing any bleeding. I want all the bad stuff out. So this one's just been kind of hanging out there. That was the one I think actually leaked. But there we go. Got my new cylinders in today. They're the right ones for these wheels. So it's me again. I'm back at it. Hey kids, me again. Busy day today. Took a while to get this just right. Wheel cylinder, new hose. Tricky the way the hose goes. Used to be a spring that would come through this little hole. I'm going to try to show you here real quick. Little hole right here was a spring that come down, had a little weird clip, and it would supposedly hold the hose way up. Made it real tight. But the clip was all rotted out and the spring was all bunk, and so to reuse it was going to be impossible. So I had to change the direction for these hoses as if it didn't have a clip, which is the direction you see them going now. Instead of straight bent real hard and straight up in the air, they're more relaxed, you know. So even this side looks a little more relaxed and stuck way up in that big hole right up there. That was, you know, I'm not sure if it was aftermarket or whether it was somebody, whether it was factory, but wheel cylinders are in, new hoses, and I'll tell you, those hoses were pretty bad. Now this is the nice one. This one here's the nice one, but we're going to show you how bad this hose is. See the crack? The bottom side of it is even worse. These things were ready to pop at any time, and I wasn't going to have it popping on me. Not when I got the capabilities of putting new brakes all the way around the way they're supposed to be. The right shoes on the right side of the freaking thing, you know. I mean, the way they had it was big shoe on this side when it should have been on this side, which means they took this side's shoes and used them over there, and that side's shoes and used them over here. Weird adjusters because they're not self-adjuster. This adjuster, the wheel is to the rear, left side, the adjuster's to the other side. That way when you go like this, you're adjusting. When you stick your thingy in the hole and you're flipping it down, it'll adjust the same way. It's the only way they did it, man. You know, the next year, 63, they put self-adjusters on. But I can't get that stuff, man, unless I change things, and if I'm going to change things, I might as well go with disc all the way around. Put some big dollars into it. Now, there you go, man. We're on our way. I'm done for the day, man. That took me most of the day to get that. So what we did was everything is clean, man. I mean, all the bolts, everything is all wired, wheeled, everything, even the plungers, man, because you got to reuse those on the wheel cylinders. Those are all cleaned up and ready to rock, man. Now all I got to do is put the brakes on and then move to the rear. So there you go, man. It's me, man. Rolling. Well, pretty soon. Just me again. Hey, this is an updatey. It's been a few days. The weather got cold, real windy. Snowed a bit the other night. I held off on the brakes, man, and started working on other things. Like, I couldn't finish the brakes and pump up all the pedal and everything because I needed to figure out why the brake light switch didn't work. You know how that goes. You know? That means I had to push the pedal down. Hopefully I didn't hurt the pump by, the master cylinder by putting it down there, pushing that pedal out of the way, because I had to get in there behind the pedal and get the switch to work. Switch works. Blinker switch is bad. Blinker switch is different than most switches. It's not like electric switch goes like you know. I remember the one where I was saying I spray it and doing all this good stuff. Because what it is a little round circular rings and this and that. It's metal, and it has a cable that runs from the top of the top of the column where this little switch handle is. A cable runs all the way down the column to a switch down below. The switch is screwed up. The cable is messed up. See, something's not right there. I was actually able to get it to do the right side blinker, but can't get it to do the left side now because the cable is either stretched or it's the wrong cable maybe, because you can see that they've taken this switch out before. They've cut one of the bolt down sides so they could just slip it over the nut instead of taking the nut all the way out. The bolt, little games. I'll have to deal with a blinker switch. I'm going to get one out of this handy dandy little catalog here. The kind you just bolt to the side of the column, and I can run the wires down, and I'll use the plug, the regular wire plug, but I'm going to also utilize the old bad switch because it's got a plug end that the cord plugs in. I'm going to wire that up to the new blinker so it will just plug in. So now I know I got brake lights though, and I got regular running lights, so that's happening. I also put the new alternator and voltage regulator on. That immediately worked. Immediately. Whereas the other one, you would have to give the RPMs up a little bit, give it some gas, and then it would click on. But really noisy. The old one was real noisy. You put this one on, you can't even hear it now. So I done that. There was some wiring hanging down underneath that I had cut and just left hang. Got that all taken care of. Got the alternator in. Not broke, not damaged, but broke loose the line that goes to the clutch slave cylinder. So now I know I can do that when it ain't so windy and blowing dirt in my eyes. I can get down into there and do that. Today should be a better day. I should be able to get out there and get the front brake shoes on and the slave cylinder done. And I also started, instead of draining the gas tank, since it only had much in the bottom, I figure, well, I'll just add gas, because old gas from years ago that had lead and was real gasoline would varnish and turn to sludge in the bottom of your tank. New gas, the stuff we've been getting for the last 10 years or so, 15 years or whatever, 16, 20 years, don't have no lead in it. It's got the ethanol in it. It evaporates. So that's what's happened to this, is it's evaporated down. So I put 8 gallons of gas in it,
high octane gas, and went to hook the fuel line up yesterday with a filter and everything because I want to filter it before it goes to the pump. And started Johnny, and it choked itself to death. In other words, the fuel line is plugged from the pump to the tank somewhere. So I had to hook the other system back up and drop it in a can of gas, and that way it started, and I could tell whether I damaged the pump or not because it wasn't getting nowhere, you know. So I got to take the line loose, try to blow through the line if I can, and the line's fine, and I'll just replace the sending unit because it doesn't register either. It did once, but then it didn't again. So little things like that, you know. I'm getting close. I still got to do the back brakes, but there's my update on my repair videos. This one isn't going to have a number. It's just an update, you know. We can call this day 10 and 11 and 12 because I split it up into 3 days, the work I was doing, because it would get so cold out there I'd have to come back in the house. So, it's me again. Movies, we like movies. Movies are cool.